Yo, what's going on, guys? These are the upcoming class tuning for January 10th. I'm really focused on PvP, so I'm hoping these classes right here on the S tier need to be nerfed. This is the goal. Nerf these by just a little bit. And then buff these. These seem like they have problems. I'm not saying these are the worst of the worst classes, but they need some buffs or changes in some ways that hopefully I can just take them off this list. If we see buffs towards these classes, I'm going to take it off the list. If I see nerfs during in this class, I'm going to take it off and be like, it's a win. It's a step forward. So starting off, Demon Hunter. The hunt's damage over time effects no longer deals an additional tick on application. Damage dealt over the total duration remains unchanged. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I don't know if I'm just not understanding it from the wording or what's going on, but the hunt does damage and puts a dot on you. But does that mean it's just not gonna do one tick of damage as soon as you get the demon hunter flies over and hits him? Don't exactly know what that means. It looks like it's going to be a tiny bit less damage, I guess. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure on how that's worded. I wish there was a description right here. Wish there was a description really for anything, but that'd be way too much work for them, honestly. Thick skin for vengeance. You know, I'm not really caring about this. Honestly, tanks need to be taken out of PvP, so I'm not even going to read this. Feral Druid's all abilities damaged increased by 3%. Now this is kind of scary because Feral Druid would be on this list if I did not hear that Feral Druid was getting reworked or just a bunch of different talents. So really have to see with this one. I'm not 100% sure on this. Their damage is insane right now in PvP, but I think they're getting reworked, so I think it might even out. Who knows? We'll have to see. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I don't know. Devastation. This is for the lizard boys, the dragons, the lizards. Devastation, the damage class, fire breath damage increased by 10% for devastation spec only, does not apply to PvP combat. Okay, it's not, we don't care about that. Lay waste increased deep breath damage by 15 to 30%, was 10 to 20%. It's a talent. So we're getting more damage on deep breath, it looks like, for that's their burst. Eternity Surge, damage increased by 10%. This can be procced off of their little Mind Flay ability, that blue flay channeled ability. I don't know what it's called. Firestorm damage increased by 20%. I don't know if they even run this in PvP. I think it's a PvE ability. Eye of Infinity generates 2 essences on critical strike, was 1 essence. Spellweaver Dominance increased critical damage to 230%, was 220%. And then iridescence damage bonus increased to 20%, was 15%. This class is not been the craziest damage. It's certainly not an overpowered damage spec by any means compared to some of the classes that need nerfs right now, especially that I went over just a minute ago. But you know, it's not a terrible class. But I think it could get some buffs where it stands, especially that it's a new class. You kind of want the new class to be strong, but you don't want it to be overpowered by any means. In my opinion, I don't think any class should be just absolutely overpowered compared to the other ones. I don't think that, because it just leads to other people playing that class and that class only, and it makes it unfun for anybody who's not playing that class. So I think they should. I think those buffs are good there. Hunter, Survival. I've not been seeing too many people play this. I see Big Macs playing it, but that's all there is. All ability damage and pet damage increased by 2%. So all ability damage, that's like just base damage, 2%, and your pet damage, which is good too. Butchery and carve damage increased by 10%. That's good. So it's actually like 12%, I guess. And all of these, you can add +2, really. Since this will be +2. Butchery and carve damage increased by 10%. Fury of the Eagle damage increased by 10%. Wildfire Bomb damage increased by 15%. Wow. I don't know how much damage Wildfire Bomb is doing right now, but it's going to have 15, 17 increased damage on it. So that's good. Because I have noticed there's more marksmanship hunters out there right now than survival and BM as well. But Oh, yeah, that's good for survival hunters. Fire Mage, this class needs a buff, son. This is on our list down here at the bottom. Fire and Frost. Flame Strike damage increased by 15%. Living Bomb damage increased by 25%. Buffs. We can take this one off. They're not the best buffs, I don't think. Flame Strike damage, who cares in PvP? You know what we're going to do? We're going to hold off on these. We'll come back to that way later because there are some PvP changes specifically that they're separate from all this. So Flame Strike damage, Living Bomb, that's good for PvE, I think. I don't know how much Living Bomb you use in PvP. I actually think you used to take this talent and not even use it. So maybe it'll be usable now. I don't know if you even use it right now. But Frostbolt damage increased by 20%. Good. Frost, in my opinion, I don't know 100%. I can't talk about it too much because I don't play Frost. But in solo shuffle, anytime I get like a Frost Mage, it's just a fat RIP. We lose the game. Arcane on the other end, I'm sure you can win. But Frost, it really feels one-sided. Like anybody who has a Frost Mage on their team just loses. I don't know how they get to rating where I don't know how they get to rating where I'm at. Like they're always losing. Ray of Frost damage increased by 40%. Glacial Spike and damage increased by 10%. These are all good right here. Glacial Spike damage increased by 10%. Kind of questionable, not gonna lie, because people, I have noticed, people will get one shot by this thing like from 50 to 0. Hits hard sometimes. I'm not exactly sure on that one. Brewmaster efficiency. Nope, nobody cares about Brewmaster. Mistweaver. Ooh. All healing increased by 5%. Okay. Hey, I might have to bring my Mistweaver. Okay. Vivify healing increased by an additional 5%. So Vivify right now is healing 10% less than what it will heal in the next patch. This is good for Mistweavers just so far, right off the bat. Good. Blackout kick damage increased by 6%. That's good. Rising Sun kick damage increased by 8%. Good. Tiger Palm increased by 15%. Good. Spinning Crane kick damage increased by 5%. Good. Awakened Failing now transfers 70% of Spinning Crane kick damage into healing was 60%. I don't exactly know what Awakened Failing is, but apparently whenever you Spinning Crane kick, you heal. Well, that's good. Especially as it's getting buffed. I don't know if you're playing that, but it's good if you are, I guess. Yeah, the one thing I don't like about Mistweaver is that it does not have damage. That's why I don't really play it anymore. And another thing is I really wish Mistweaver had some range damage. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I wish, you know, their Jade Lightning, I wish that did more damage, kinda. If I could sit back and just kind of channel that, that'd be really cool. But, you know, they are a healer. That's their unique thing, is they run in and they do damage, which you can get yourself in a sketchy situation if you're not knowing when you can push in and when you can't push in. So that can be kind of good, kind of bad too. Retribution Paladin, Crusader strike damage increased by 40%, Blade of Justice damage increased by 25%, Final Reckoning damage increased by 15%. This is a class that has been like it does big damage one-shotting, but all the other times it is just running, boy. I tell you what, especially like in solo shuffle, I've noticed it feels like my red's not even doing anything. He is literally like a fire mage. He does his damage and he runs. It's weird. Shield of Vengeance cooldown reduced to 90 seconds. Was 120 seconds? Really? Okay, yeah. Okay. That's pretty good, I'd say. That's a pretty big buff right there. That is a good buff right there for Rets. That is a happy day for Rets. Tell you what, developer notes some of Retribution main rotation abilities do not feel as good, blah blah blah. Yeah, they don't feel as good. We noticed that. Wait, Holy for Priest, all healing done increased by 3%. I seen some other changes, but I did not see this one. This one's good. Yo, Holy Priest is struggling. Holy Priest healing is garbage. Like, it is so bad right now. It's in solo shuffle. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The highest rated Demon Hunter right now, probably higher now, but he was like 3K a week ago. Already in solo shuffle. The highest Holy Priest was 2400. Insane, right? Crazy, right? Yeah, let's just keep buffing demon hunters. Never touch them. They're a balanced class compared to everything else. Shadow focused will provides 10% damage reduction for Shadow, down from 15%. Okay, Mind Blast. That's a nerf right there. Mind Blast damage increased by 15%. Shadow only. That is a buff for a single target right there. Mind Flay damage increased by 15%. This includes Mind Flay Insanity, but not the proc from Idol of Cthulhu. This is actually one of the changes that I was thinking about Shadow having. Like, I was thinking about this straight on. I was like, people are complaining in PvE. I noticed how they don't have, they have damage for group pools and stuff. Bunch of AoE damage. They definitely do. I've played Mythic Dungeons, but whenever it comes to the boss, you really don't have that much. So this is really good. These single targets right here. Mind Spike damage increased by 15%. That's good. More single target Void Torrent damage increased by 15%. Void Torrent. That's good. Devouring Plague damage increased by 15%. Wow. Oh wow, this is some really, it's a really good, really big. These changes are aimed for improving Shadow's single target DPS. This change is focused. Will is targeted change for PvP to reduce Shadow survivability. That is a huge thing right now. I've noticed for Shadow Priest is insane how much they survive. We're playing jungle and we are running down Shadow Priest and we can't kill them. It's just we can't kill them ever. It's so hard. I mean, it's way harder than it should be. It feels like for Shadow Priest. It's so that's really good. Those are good changes right there. More damage and single target damage, more damage, single target damage, and then they're less tanky. So this is really good for PvE, especially. Yeah, definitely. Probably yeah, it's good everywhere. Oh my goodness, Rogue Outlaw. This is a class that I've not seen crazy amount of, but I've seen him in PvE do way more damage than anybody. Reduce bonus, precise cuts talent. I don't really know what this does. Reduce bonus to blade flurry damage per missing target below its maximum to 2% was 3%. Okay. Recognize that Outlaw is overperforming. We expect this change. Okay, yeah. So I was doing a mythic dungeon, probably 40 item levels higher than this rogue, and he was doing way more damage than me. I noticed on AoE pools. It's like absurd amount of damage. Yeah, Affliction Warlocks. This is a big pumper class. It's not as played as Demonology because Demo is just broken right now. That you literally kill people behind the pillars from 50,000 pets that you summon that you cannot turn off on the nameplates because they're not minions, they're actual pets. Extremely annoying. Agony damage increased by 5%. Corruption damage increased by 5%. Drain Soul damage increased by 10%. Pandemic Innovation damage increased by 10%. Seed of Corruption buff 5%. Shadow Bolt 10% buff. Siphon Life 10% buff. And you Unseeable Affliction backlash damage is no longer increased from increased damage dealt modifiers or effects that increase UA damage. Thank God. Yes. Okay, they got damage buffs. Yeah. That not fun to play against. I mean, like, as a healer, but it's fine. But UA backlash, whenever you dispel that thing, it's not gonna hit absolutely your entire health bar whenever you dispel it now. That is something that is extremely annoying. And it gets on my last nerve. It's like you really can't dispel things versus UA lock sometimes. And it's a struggle. So I'm glad that's getting changed. There's a good change for Affilux and Destro locks. I haven't seen them as much as Demolocks. Channel Demon Fire increased damage by 10%. Rain of Fire increased by 15%. Soul Fire increased by 20%. Infernal and Blasphemy Immolation damage increased by 10%. Conflagrate damage increased by 10%. This does not apply in PvP. 10%, 15%, not in PvP. PvP changes. Demon Hunters, please be nerfed, please be nerfed, please be nerfed, please be nerfed. I'm pretty sure. Soul Rending Leech bonus reduced by 40% in PvP combat. Yes. Oh, this is where I can start taking things off the list. Oh my god. Soul Rending Leech bonus damage reduced by 40% in PvP combat. Oh yeah. That's a nerf to their healing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Glimpse PvP talent or damage reduction. Oh my goodness. Reduced to 35% was 75%. Oh my goodness. That's a nerf. Essence break damage bonus for Chaos Strike and Blade Dance reduced by 37.5% in PvP combat. Damage bonus for Chaos. Reduced by... I don't know what Essence break damage bonus is for Chaos Strike, but it's nerfed by 37%. Okay. Soul Rend damage reduced by 17% in PvP combat. Nerf again. That is perfect. Perfect. Demon Hunter. This is probably the #1 class that I want it to be nerfed. Off the list. Off of the list. Oh yeah, developer notes we have noticed having Demon Hunters overperforming in several everything. Not several, literally everything. 2s, 3s, RPGs, solo shovel, literally every aspect of PvP. Random battlegrounds, epic battlegrounds. If you have 40 Demon Hunters in an epic battleground versus 40 anything or just a normal team or a full-on 40-man and vent, they win. It doesn't vent. Discord. A PvP including personal survivability, burst damage, and overall DPS, we're taking action to reduce their effectiveness in these areas while still aiming to keep them competitive. Oh, this is great. Oh man, I'm so glad. Preservation, this is another class we've read so far. This is on the overpowered list right here. It is the next one that I would say is the most overpowered. These are overpowered except for the Windwalker in my opinion. This just needs some reworking in my opinion. Preservation, energy loop mana regeneration reduced by 25% in PvP combat. I don't know what this is exactly. I don't know what the talent actually does, but it's a mana nerf, which is 100,000% needed for preservation evokers. They're way too strong. That's a win. That's a W. Oh yeah, that's taken off. That's, well, I mean, like, I don't know how good that is. I don't know how much of a nerf that is, but it's a W. It's a nerf, so that's good. Mage. Siphon Storm's effectiveness reduced by 50% in PvP combat. Siphon Storm has been a culprit for one-shot scenarios, so we're adjusting down heavily. That's good. Oh, I think that's decent. I think that's pretty good. Arcane Mage is one of the best classes right now. I wouldn't say it's one of the best classes, but it's really good. You know, it's pretty good. It can definitely be a super strong class, and it can one-shot people, which can be extremely annoying. And RMP right now, I haven't seen too much of it, but man, it's just annoying to face right now. It's like facing a normal RMP, but they just never stop doing damage, you know? It's really annoying. Glacial Spike. Reduce Glacial Spike's damage. Increase from Mastery. Icicles by 20. Wait. Sorry. Glacial Spike. Reduce Glacial Spike's damage. Increase from Mastery Icicles by 25% in PvP combat. This will be reflected in the tooltip in the later patch. So this is getting a 10% buff up there just normally. And then, you know, it's nerfed right here, so I don't know how that's gonna be exactly. I'll probably be about the middle. It's probably getting like a little bit of a nerf, I guess. Our goal is that this change to make Glacial Spike Mastery scaling will preserve it as an option for Frost Mage, but temper the effectiveness Mastery stacking it had with spells. Okay, Monk. Oh, this is the class that I think, in my opinion, should be reworked a little bit. The burst is too much. Like, if you get your weapon enchant proc, and I've seen videos on YouTube, people just literally 2-tap people. It can be really frustrating, and then when they're not in there, they're just tickling people. You know, they're just tickle, but at the same time, they're kind of not. And 2s, they're, you know, dampening, they're doing more damage than I can heal with as a priest, but probably other healers don't really have that problem because they are not so bad with healing output, so we'll have to see. Blackout Kick damage increased by 30% in PvP combat was 15, so a 15% buff on this, and a 15% buff on Tiger Palm. Okay. Oh, wow. Wait. Wait. So that's for all monks. That's for Mistweavers too. And they're getting those other buffs, so that means Mistweaver's gonna be doing damage maybe. Rising Sun Kick now deals 12% additional damage, 12.5%. Okay, we're looking to offset the incoming PvE buffs to Rising Sun Kick, as we think it currently hits hard enough to be effective for Mistweaver and PvP. Windwalkers. Thunder Fist damage reduced by 40% in PvP combat. Wow. Sky Reach increases critical strike chance for 30%, down from 50%. Wow. Fist of Fury damage increased by 15%. Wow, okay. Windwalker Burst has continued to be above the level we're comfortable with. We're targeting Thunder Fist and Sky Reach as they are large contributors. We're also increasing their sustained damage as we feel there is room for that to improve. Their burst is reduced. I literally just said that. This perfect change. This is a perfect change as long as I get a buff on my class. A big buff too. Tell you what, because I already can't out heal to the consistent damage in PvE. So I better get like I said, I better get a buff, and here they are. Flash healing is increased by 30% in PvP combat, was 20%. That's only a 10% buff for flash heal. So we get a 10% buff on flash heal. This is for holy specifically. Healing is increased by 35% in PvP combat, was 25%, 15% increase heal on heal. Holy word. Serenity healing is increased by 15% in PvP combat. Okay, that's good. Holy receive PvP reductions. Okay, Serenity has not been effective as we would like healing. Handling burst damage. Alright, yeah, this is good. This is really good for Holy Priest. They're getting a 3% healing buff overall. This is going to be for Priest overall, so for Disc Priest, like, I was needing a buff on Flash Heal. This is going to be really good. So for Disc Priest, we actually have some more changes in 10.5 that are coming, and then we also have this, and then we also have Surge of Light is going to be proccing off of every healing spell. That'll give us more Flash Heals, which is getting buffed. So I think Discipline is looking great. I think it's looking pretty good. I think it could have a few more changes. It's gonna have issues with mana. These healing buffs are fixing mana issues in a way, a little bit, but I don't think they're gonna be fixing them enough, because Preservation Evoker, like I said, and other classes just have mana way better. So these two priest specs definitely gonna be they're gonna be taken out. Those pretty good changes so far. So yeah, Shadow or Death damage reduced by 30%, was 20%. Mind Blast damage reduced by 25%. PvP combat. Mind Spike reduced by 25%. Wait, Shadow or Death? Devouring Plague damage reduced by 25%. Vampiric Touch damage reduced by 5%. The proc rate of Shadowy Insight is reduced by 25%. The proc rate of Surge of Darkness has been reduced by 25%. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Shadow Priest has been widely overperforming, so we are looking to offset recent PvE to them, and reduce their power defensively through changes. Wait, what? I have to come back to that. That's confusing. They got buffs, but they got nerfs. They got nerfs in PvP specifically. They got buffs outside. So all this stuff is actually getting nerfed by like 10%. Oh my goodness. Okay. I didn't really see Shadow like overperforming in threes. Maybe it is. I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I just feel like I looked at like a top 100 and they're all Shadow, but that's because Healing Priest absolutely was terrible. Right, it's terrible right now. Improved Garrote. Garrote's damage, bonus damage reduced by 40% in PvP combat. That's whenever you come from stealth. Iron Wire's damage reduction debuff has now been has a PvP duration of 4 seconds. Was the base 8 seconds? Okay. Demonology. Oh, this is a class right here that needs to be nerfed. Demonic Strength unleashes a Fellstorm that deals 150% increased damage in PvP combat, was 400%. That is a huge nerf. I don't know what that is exactly, but that's big. I think that's like his pet Bladestorming, I guess, you know? So hopefully that's a big nerf. Hopefully that's a big damage nerf. Demon Fire damage increased by 75% in PvP combat. I think that's your Demonic Tyrant. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Dread bite damage reduced by 10% in PvP combat. So that's their dogs. That's a good nerf. So we're gonna take this Demonology Warlock and throw it off because that's good. That's a W. Warrior. I actually haven't been looking at these other classes too much. Warrior. Defensive stance now reduces damage done by 15%. Was 20%. Wait. Now reduces damage by 15%. Was 20% in PvP. Defensive stance was adjusted in previous patches to address damage it. We no longer. Wait, what? Wait. I'm pretty sure I have Warrior on this list because literally they're too squishy or something. I'm pretty sure that's why I put him on there. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, we need to take this Fire Mage off, this Frost Mage off. Those are buffs, those are wins. The frick, the Ret Paladin was a win. Oh, the Arms, the Mistweaver was a win. The Arms Warrior though, they're squishy. Maybe it'll balance out with all these other changes, but they seem squishy. Frost DK, Boomy, that ain't a touch. Yeah, these are the classes, in my opinion, right now that need to be looked at the most. Especially there's a bunch of changes, so these nerfs might make these classes like the Holy Pally, Arms Warrior DK, Frost DK, and the Boomy, they might make them better. I don't exactly know how it could make the Boom can. Well, yeah, yeah, I think that's good. I think one that definitely needs to be watched though now is an Elemental Shaman because their burst damage is just insane. It's like it is really weird how big damage they do. They can really just one-shot people right now, and it's really crazy. I don't know. Maybe I just need more healing, which I got more healing. I think it's great. So we'll have to see. These are some really good changes though. So everything was pretty much a win. There was no real talents that I looked at and I was like, that's terrible, you know, except for the Shadow Priest. This one's questionable, I'm not going to lie. It is a little questionable because we got buffs here, but then we got big nerfs down here in the PvP, but they're gonna balance each other out kind of, but they're not gonna balance each other out actually. The Shadow Priest in PvP is getting nerfed about like 15% or something, 10%, I guess. I don't really know the exact number because they're all different up there. Yeah, it looks like they're getting a little bit of a nerf on the survivability and the damage, so it's not looking good. It's not looking like a good day for Shadow Priest, I'll definitely tell you that. And Shadow Priest is already not fun to play with in solo shuffle, so hopefully I just don't see him anymore in solo shuffle. Hopefully I just don't get them, but yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, drop comments down what you guys think. I think it's a W so far. I think they could definitely give some other classes buffs, but these classes probably will benefit. These classes will benefit from the overpowered classes getting nerfed, so we always have to keep that in mind. But anyways, later.